Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gat, your host. Okay, now we're going to look at this natal chart. We had 1:20 p.m., but it was 1:20 a.m. time of birth. So we're going to do that chart over, but I want to make a few things clear. As far as that past life report, that report was probably inaccurate because it kept talking about retrogrades. On the other natal chart, you didn't have retrogrades where that report said you did, and on this chart, you don't have retrogrades. So that past life report probably is inaccurate. I wouldn't go by it. There's some people that like to take negativity into their life, and I noticed one thing, like people, especially with that Caribbean, because it's a lot of superstitions, a lot of Caribbean stuff and stuff coming over from Africa. It's a lot of superstitions, but the more you learn your natal chart and work with your angels and things, you learn that you're not cursed. There's not no curse. If there's a generational curse, you have the authority to remove that off of yourself. Maybe even pray for your family. I pray for my family all the time. There is no curse. There is no negative energy. And I did explain, when people are what I call earth angels, when you come to this planet, you're going to have a lot of negativity, and people that should support you will be your main enemies. Just like Jesus says in the Bible, Jesus says your main enemies will be people of your own household. And you see it over and over again. So I want to make that perfectly clear. So I would strongly advise you set a goal to don't speak negative, don't believe negative, and I'm gonna do this chart. Now I'm still guaranteeing that I'm still gonna see positive, because I think when I did this chart the first time, all I saw was positive. So all that other stuff is some third dimensional nonsense that you've allowed to be programmed into your mind. And in the name of Yahshua HaMashiach, I break that off of you today. Now you have to want to believe to receive. I got a relative always talking about pain, pain, pain. I broke that off. Devil was always trying to hit me with some pain, but I fought back. I broke that off me, and I use the holy oil. I'm confident because I see how it works. And if that person just believe a little bit, pour that holy oil on those back pains, probably never have a pain again in a long time. But you got to believe it to receive it. So now, so everything else wasn't based on time, so you should be good. Your name and numerology was based just on that. It was not based on time, so that report is good. Uh, your angel card questions, you got to remember, the angels know everything. So whatever they said, I'm sure it still applies. All right, so the only thing that really needed to be updated was the time, which is what you're looking at now. So we're going to go right in. First house, ascendant is Virgo. This person is a healer, and they even got Chiron. So this is healing. Uh, Ascendant is like aspects of the sun. So that's sun power, sunlight power. East point is aspects of the sun. So you got all this light going on in your first house with Virgo. So you got all this healing. So you'll be a forward moving healer because of Aries. Aries will make you a forward moving healer. And if you have any Aries energy, they're trying to heal it. Because Aries energy is what gets people in trouble, especially if they're in a twin flame relationship. Because Aries' motto is I am. That's the ram that's moving, moving. And if you get in the ram's way, it's going to buck you and buck you. So they try to heal that energy, try to slow that energy down so that you can work out with people. Takes you right to your next house. Second house is usually your finance house, is money. But as you can see, your relationship is going to have something to do with your finances and your possessions, because you got Libra there. Also, that could mean balancing your finances, even peace, even justice. Could have something to do with the justice system, law. These are all aspects of Libra in the second house. Third house, Scorpio. Once again, so now you got that Scorpio energy, and that's connected to Pluto, which is also in that house. You're going to have a lot of power in that third house of communications. But Mars used to rule Scorpio. Now it rules Aries. So still got to be careful, because it could be very aggressive energy. In your case, it's going to be very passionate energy. Also, a lot of communication, a lot of concern with the dark house. You need to take your free report that you have, your natal chart free report, and learn that eighth house, because you're definitely going to be affected by it. All that twin soul, twin flame, soul matters, shared assets, mysteries, esoteric information. all that's there, and a lot of your love is coming out of that 8th house, Scorpio. That's your true north node, and you're also going to have money, because I keep telling people you have money in that 8th house, especially if you're in a twin soul, twin flame relationship. You got money coming out of that 8th house. And not only that, but you got the sunlight in your 8th house, which means you're also going to be the type of person that wants to talk about this and shine light. You want to teach people about the mysteries of that 8th house. And then you got Juno there too. So Juno is saying you might find yourself in a relationship with somebody that's a Scorpio, or somebody that's a Taurus or a Libra, because that's Venus, somebody that's a Gemini or a Virgo, because that's Mercury, or somebody that's a Sagittarius, because that's Juno, or somebody that's a Leo. But we already did this, because you got that teacher energy, and you got Pluto, Scorpio. So you're going to relate to a whole lot of people. So like I said, you're going to be like a magnet, which I'm sure you already know, because the numerologist already said that. So you're going to have non-stop with people wanting to come. You're going to have non-stop with offers. But then I used to hang out with a guy from Puerto Rico. His name was Anibal, but we called him Pete. And Pete actually lived with me for a little bit. He's a roommate. And that man, and I worked with him too. And I went to the same religion with him. Wherever we went, women was trying to get Pete to have sex with me. And best I know, he was faithful. He got married, and then 5 days later, he was asking me, how do you get a divorce, which was kind of funny. But he did stay married. He did stay married. But I used to watch the women used to come out. And one thing about my friend, because I called him Pete, I didn't call him Annabelle. One thing about my friend, them women was coming out. And you could talk to anybody. The moment his name came up, they all got happy. Like they were ready to party. Reminded me, I studied I watched the movie about Lucille Ball and Ricky Ricardo, or whatever his name, Desi Arnaz, about Desi Arnaz. And that's how he was. He was just an all-around, because they coming out of that, like I say, coming out of the Caribbean area, and they were all about fun, and all coming up that Atlantic Ocean, I'm pretty sure, and all about partying and just having that air and that whole love life. So he sparked people's lives, and I can see that in you. That's why I'm saying this. He sparked people's lives. So whoever I was talking to, no matter how sad or mad or depressed they were, as soon as they heard his name, they became happy, like a new person, new life. And I know one time I was talking to a person that was depressed. Now I was trying to hold a conversation with her. She was depressed the whole time. The moment I said Pete's name, oh, she changed. Her whole everything about her changed. This is how much power this. And I don't even know if he had that kind of power, but he did. And he said the phone would ring all the time. He had women calling him from Puerto Rico and women calling him from all over. It was times he would be home and leave, go out at 2 o'clock in the morning to meet some female for some reason. He was an amazing person. I know my mother's car had broke down, and I told him what was wrong. He said, because this is how he talked. Give me a second, because I'm laughing. He said, oh, I think I know what that is. I think I know what that is. And I said, how does dude gonna know what it is? And I just told him what it is. We came to the car. He opened up the hood. He looked at one little thing, this little plastic thing, and it only cost like 50 cents back then. He went and put it in the car, and that car started right up. And one time my mother had another problem with a little piece that only cost 50 cents, but they charged her like $350 to fix it. But the only piece she needed only cost 50 cents. This is back in the day. This is no lie. But Pete was an amazing dude. Trying to think if there's anything else. So I see that in you. All this mystical stuff and supernatural stuff and all this unbelievable stuff. But that's all coming from the islands and stuff like that. That's why you don't confess no curses, because you don't see no curses in your natal chart. And even if you did, you can still work them out. So far, we haven't even seen one retrograde yet. Going to your 4th house of family, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your higher self, Sagittarius, your 9th house. And it's all about healing. So it's healing in the family, educational. You might be doing something with social, and the heal could be social worker or some type helping the community out. Real estate, property is in the 4th house. Vehicles, and the heart is in the 4th house. Moving on to 5th house. Now the strange thing about the 5th house is Capricorn. Now I'm not sure if I got Capricorn in my 5th house or not, but a lot of times when you see Capricorn, because the 5th house is supposed to be the fun house, the love house, and all that. But a lot of these times, you know, you're dealing with an earth angel because he comes to he's more duty. He comes for duty, so he actually sacrifices all the love and all the passion and all the sex of the fifth house. He put Capricorn in there because he came for duty. And I keep saying that the Capricorns and Cancer are the portals for the angels that come down or the guys that come down. And I already told you in the other video how to look that up. So make sure you should still listen to that other video. Do not sleep on that other video because most of your information is gonna be in that one. This is just a follow up. So make sure you check that other video out too. Now, give me 1 second. So then you got Neptune there. Now Neptune rules Pisces, all the spiritual stuff. Neptune is very idealistic. Uranus is very independent, but very powerful, very sudden, very erratic, very independent. And Capricorn is more like a worker and somewhat disciplined. So in your fifth house of you know, just romance and fun and all that stuff, it seems like you're more focused on duty. Not saying you won't be a romantic or fun, but it just seems like you're more focused on duty. And that again is a sign of an earth angel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Vertex cross with Aquarius, again healing. And Aquarius is the enlightened one to help the community, but Aquarius is also when twin souls submit and say, hey, we need to work together because we're twin souls and our relationship has got to be more important than third dimensional thinking, third dimensional selfishness. Going into your seventh house, there you got Pisces, because again, Neptune is trying to tell you how to have a serious relationship. And it's just kind of funny because even though you have the power to be a player, it seems more to me, and that's what the numerologist says. So he kind of said the same thing about you. You're more interested in that, a more disciplined, a more serious kind of relationship. And Neptune is trying to help Pisces to be psychic and help that. And you got the vertex cross working with you too. But that 13 coming off of good fortune means you may have some type of struggle or test in your relationship sector. You see 5 in your thing with Saturn, and you see 5, 5. Yeah, I'm right. Because now Saturn is about rules and disciplines. So you're gonna kind of like, even though you're gonna have a lot of temptation, because even like I said, even my friend Peter was like that. The women used to come out. Listen, I was there. We worked on a garbage truck. Women used to come out, always trying to seduce him. He lived with me, phone always, everywhere we went. He was like a mega star with the ladies, and he worked at a hotel, and women used to come out, offer him money to have sex. He worked at Berkeley Carteret in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and women used to come out seducing him with money, trying to have sex, and they be drunk. Someone would be drunk, not all of them. Some would be sober. They still wanted to do it. So this was his whole life. So that's what you see in your third house. All that Venus love and Scorpio love and communication, all that. Sun and all that stuff. Pluto. So so you're gonna have discipline, and your seventh house psychic ability. Neptune is gonna try to help you have a a structured relationship. But you got to be careful because you got to have fun. So because if you don't want her feeling bored, so you got to use some of that freaky stuff you got in the third house because you seem to have a lot of like freaky communications. So you got to be able to tell it. Because some people are like that. They be all freaky outside of a relationship. They get in a relationship and then they get all serious. Then it be all boring. So you need to bring the freaky stuff into the relationship. Keep it lively. So you got a 13, so that might be why you had some problems in your relationship sector, because 13 is a test and all that, but it's obviously you're too serious. You're mystical, you're spiritual, but you need to bring some of that stuff you got in the third house, you need to bring it into the seventh house and get it popping. Going into the eighth house, you got Aries energy, and eighth house again is all that. Like if you look at see, you just got some weird stuff going on. Not a curse, but just weird stuff. But Aries really is playing off your third house because you got Scorpio and Pluto there. But you're also playing off that your 12th house because you got Mars there with Leo. And number Mars is at 22. So you got some strange stuff there. So we'll try to look at it. Because Virgo is trying to heal Aries in your first house. Going to your ninth house, which is your higher self. Higher self, you got the moon there with Taurus. And whenever I see the moon with Taurus, I tell people to make sure you know what the Moors are. And the good news is the Myrrh Root Science website is back up. So if you want to learn more about the Myrrhs and their connection to the Earth, this planet, all you gotta do is go to like Yahoo search engine and type in Myrrh Root Science. And then they got their website back up. So that's a lot of information about the Myrrhs. Because whenever you see the moon and a Taurus, you get all, especially if it's a crescent moon. But whenever you see the moon with Taurus, you know you're talking. Like you may have some connection to the Moors or the Murs, but that's a studied history I had to do. And then go to Serpents again at 13. At 0, see that's like if you ever heard of the 13th son. What does he say? 13 love. I'm a Moor. See, that's that 13. That's that the darkness, the test, the purging, and the serpents. And that's what 13 love say. The 13th son. That's what he say. 13 love, 13 wisdom, 13 knowledge. And he's on YouTube. The 13th son. DA13THSUN. And you got Lilith right there. So you got a lot of feminine energy there in your ninth house with that bull. That bull can mean loyalty. The bull can mean stubbornness. The bull can mean the second house, because you already had issues with your second house with Libra in it. And you got that retrograde, but that's not necessarily bad. Palace is other people trying to help you in your ninth house about past life stuff. And as far as I know, that's the first retrograde I've seen since I came through this chart, which is not bad at all. Your 10th house is again the career house or Gemini again. So it could mean twin flame. That's your career, is to find your twin flame. But it also could mean that your career will be working in communications. Like I worked in telemarketing. I'm always on telephones, and that's where my twin flame was at. But it's ironically that it's Gemini again, and your whole Gemini is just like freaky at the end of the day. It's a lot of love, but it's also a lot of Scorpio freaky stuff going on there. A lot of freaky communications and stuff like that. So I don't know. You would know that one better than me. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But I'm just gonna advise you: don't get in a relationship and be all serious and all whack. But outside of a relationship, you freaky and everything else. So you gotta bring that passion into the relationship sector, the seventh house. Your ninth house again. Vesta retrograde with nurturing Aquarius. And then they're trying to heal Aquarius. Like for some reason, you're really fighting against union. Or the universe is fighting against union. Because every time we get to like Aquarius, which means that the two twins unite, or even your ninth house, which is higher self, the two twins are ready to ascend. It's always some retrograde or some problem. So you got some issue that's stopping you from uniting. You got some type of twin shit going on. Like it's uniting. It's stopping you from pairing up with your twin. And so they're trying to nurture it and heal it and all that other stuff. It might be an obligation to duty, because I'm kind of like that too. It might be an obligation to duty where, because yeah, you even see it in your seventh house. There goes Saturn, and Saturn, Saturn and Capricorn, they're workers. They have obligation to duty. So maybe that's what's holding you up. But the universe is trying to tell you that that should be your project, is uniting with your twin. Your 12th house, there go Leo. Ironically, and when you go to your Leo rules your 5th house. Once again, you have Capricorn, too serious, because that's supposed to be the fun house. That's not really about work. Capricorn is the worker, ruled by Saturn. So, and you got Mars, which is kind of like the twin flame, though. It's 22. But Mars is the struggler, Charis is the nurturer. So I don't know. I don't know if you and your twin gonna be having arguments and arguing. I don't know. Sometimes you need to see their chart too. You can see because they both tell a story. But Mars rules Aries. Used to rule Scorpio. But you definitely got something. You got some either attitude problem in the way you have in union with your twin, or you have or you and your twin just are at a stage where y'all kind of like arguing or whatever. Because if you notice, Mars is at 22 and 6, and 6 is the lover's number. So, I mean, don't forget this chart is a prophecy. So it started the day you were born. Some of the stuff could already happen. Some of the stuff might be about to happen. Some of the stuff may not have happened yet. But it seems like y'all started off good if they're talking about your twin. But you got so many people in your third house, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe somebody jealous or something. I really don't know. But in your third house, it's like you're the fun guy, the life of the party. You got money. You got the deepness. You went to that deep Scorpio stuff. So that's going to be a lot of esoteric mysteries, but also passion. But you talk a good talk. Love is there. You talk a good talk. But then when you actually get to the 5th house of really like fun and passion, you kind of want to be a worker. Like you kind of like don't follow through. And then when you get to the 7th house of relationship, Neptune is trying to help you through Pisces. But Saturn, you got that Saturn energy that's kind of like making you really disciplined. Just like Saturn rules Capricorn and it's making you disciplined. So you're not really fun. Like you talked a good game. But then when it came time to really be that person for whatever reason, looks like some sense of duty, you didn't do it. But what the universe is saying, as long as you're doing it with your twin, you should do it because it's going to help everything. It's going to help the union and everything. So when you get to your 9th house of higher self, they're telling you, because Lilith wants to be cherished, and that's why she's right there. But at least she's not retrograde. But they're telling you got to get rid of your stubbornness. And it might be some past, because a lot of times we don't get along with our twins because of past life stuff. So we got to deal with that. So the only past life stuff you got is a Pallas retrograde and Vesta. So you can easily get over that by just making sure that's your twin and just spend more time and stuff like that. Because that is really your project. You can still save the world if that's what you want to do, because I kind of get the feeling you're kind of that type of person. And I think you did ask a whole lot of questions about, stuff like that. But you got to include her too. Now I got another friend. He's deep in the ministry. And they told him from day one, your twin is your project. The angels told him, don't forget about your twin and blah, blah, blah. So he had a lot of stuff he wanted to do. And I guess his twin wasn't with it. So he basically asked me to do another reading. This was months later. And he basically was trying to say, well, I want to do this. I want to do this. So the angels said I could do this. If my twin don't want to do it, do I do it without her? So that the angels had to remind him again, we already told you, you got to work with her. So sometimes y'all fellas just got to know how to seduce your ladies, Don't be too proud to beg now. Woo! Don't be too proud to beg. See, here's what y'all need to do, y'all young whippersnappers. You need to get some Marvin Gaye. Who else? Some Al Green. Barry White. I would say Teddy Pendergrass, but he was a little rough. You got what I want. So he about to rape her or something. You got what I need. So I don't know if you want Teddy. You a little rough. And I would say R. Kelly, but he was a little too freaky because he went a little underage. And he was into some stuff that I don't know because everybody's not down with that Golden Globe, if you know what I'm talking about. Bada bang, bada boom. So I don't know if I say R. Kelly. Unless you into that freaky stuff, because I see your third house says that you are at least talking about it. But you got to learn to be about it in your relationship, because that's what she's looking for. You see where she's at? Juno, in that freaky house. Boy, you can't fool me, because I know how to read the charts, boy. You should have stuck with the PM, boy, because now I'm all up in your business. Ha ha! AM, wake up, nigga. All right, so that's it. That's all I got for you. Everything else should be good. You can always step back. What I tell everybody, I keep it 100. I do the best natal charts as far as what's going on with your life and what the universe is saying. Once you get that chart, you can either get some more angel questions if you want to, or because you should always get a chart and current angel questions so that you don't have no wondering. You shouldn't be wondering. And it's worth it because it is your life. Now, once you get that, now you can go wherever you want to, because now you got the best. But why would you go to some broken down person lying to you? And most of these people talking about, oh, I see them coming in 3 months. I see them coming. So 3 months come and then they don't come. And the only thing that came was the money out of your pocket into their hands. And the only thing that's coming is them running when you come back to find out why that shit ain't happening. So I give it to you 100. And you hear me say I don't know a lot. I'd be like, I don't know. This is your chart. It's your life. Like, I'm only trying to point you at what I see. But I keep it 100. But if you listen, you built for the next move. Now, your next move might be with me through something, or it might not. I'm cool with that. I'm not marketing. I'm not trying to, like a drug dealer. He try to get you hooked. Or a salesperson, they try to keep making you think you need this, you need that. I don't get down like that. I trust God for whatever I need each day. So I ain't worrying about that. But me personally, I'm always going to deal with the best. Like, I be having people trying to read. I say, hold up. I didn't give you consent to read me. You don't read nothing about me. I don't know you. I don't know what you're tapped to. You dealing with spirits. I done had a few times with people that made that mistake, and I had to cut them off. No, we can't be friends because you did something where you didn't get my consent. So all communications is terminated because you put me and my family in danger. I deal with people that I know or do what they say they do and who they say they are. And that's why a lot of people deal with me. You don't just deal with any Joe Small. I try to tell you that. Because you don't know where this is all about energy and spirits and different worlds and all that. You got to be careful who you're dealing with. So it's been a pleasure. This is Gad. If anybody else is interested in anything you see out here, or any questions, because I do like everything. People think I only do twin flame and stuff, but I do everything. So you can holler back. I also have a list I sent out for people that requested. This is Gad. You've been listening to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444 for that super smooth, intuitive person. Oh, I never put the video out, but they told me I've been initiated. They said I'm going to become more psychic and stuff like that with this new moon. I just never put the video out yet. But we'll see. We'll see. Because then, I won't use the term unless I really feel like I really am that thing. But I'm definitely intuitive. I don't necessarily say psychic. Every now and then a little psychic, but not really. But they claim that's about to increase too. This is Get. I'm out. Peace.